Hello, yes. I'd like to hire a bugler. What? No, not a burglar. Are you telling me I can hire a burglar? What kind of world are we living in? Well, how much? Really? Well, I guess that is rather reasonable. But what I want is someone to play taps. You know, da 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 da. Taps.
Hi, is Ed here?
He's in the box. No, I don't want to rent a bugle.
Hey, National Hero, it's me, Wally. I got some more faxes for you. Can he breathe with this lid down?
Hopefully he's dead.
You think so?
Well, the coroner thinks so, and he's in the dead business.
The coroner's married to my Aunt Hazel. He wouldn't know dead from alive. The media is everywhere. You can't get a room in this town. How many assailants were there? I've heard 6, maybe 8. They say Ed fired until he was out of bullets.
No, I don't want to buy a bugle. I want to hire someone to play the bugle. What's so hard about that?
You didn't get that much mail when you were alive, Ed. Hey, I heard a beep. What does that mean?
It means he wants to be buried with his beeper. Never mind, I'm going to have to call you back. Thank you. Hello, Wally. I was hoping you'd be here.
Do I know you?
Of course you do. It's me, Edna.
Edna, I don't believe it. I didn't even recognize you. You have a middle, don't you?
And a top and a bottom.
Yeah, you used to sort of all run together. And your face has cleared up, hasn't it?
Well, you're nice to notice.
And there's something else. What is it?
I don't stutter anymore.
You don't. You don't stutter at all. Edna, you gotta be a saint to be here after what happened and everything. I mean, how many ex-wives would... Not many. Jeez, what a day that was. Did you know my cousin Charlie drove your ambulance?
And no, I didn't, but I don't remember much about that.
He's a hairdresser now. I gotta tell you, everybody's been asking about you and wondering. Not that anyone expected you to be here. I mean, why would anyone expect you to be here?
People have been asking what people.
Well, Mom wondered at breakfast if I had seen you. And not an hour ago, Herb said, "Where's Edna? Wally, we've got to find her."
Oh dear, I wonder what he wants.
With Herb, who knows? But I'll tell you, just seeing you brings back a lot of memories.
For me too, Wally. Do you realize it's been 4 years since I was...
No kidding, has it really?
Yes.
How is your...
Oh, it's fine. On warm days, I can sit down again. How about you? You still working with her?
Yeah, pretty much.
Not married or anything?
Who'd want to marry me?
Oh, I suspect a lot of people would. Don't sell yourself short. You don't play the bugle, do you?
No. Would that help?
Well, it would help me. I'm looking for a bugler.
Oh, maybe Herb will know someone.
I suppose, but I hate to ask him. How is he?
Oh, he's fine. He's in the bar across the street, having a purple squirrel, in memory of Ed.
Are you guys still drinking those things? I switched to scotch the day I got out of the hospital. Hey, say, would you mind doing me a favor?
Sure thing.
Would you keep an eye on our national hero for just a few minutes? I want to run an errand.
Sure, no problem. Take your time. It's sure great having you here.
Thank you. It almost makes the trip worthwhile. Almost. I won't be long.
See you there, Wally?
He's in there, Herb, and you'll never guess
He damn well better be in there because, frankly, I never trusted the man. How many of these guest books we filled out so far?
I guess part of that one. And you'll never believe who...
That's not enough. This man was loved by everyone. Get a hold of Larry. Tell him I want people down here. Give him the hours and tell him that I want a nice mix. Blacks, Hispanics, Jews, Catholics. And Wally, tell them to wear their native costumes. I want this place to look like the United Nations.
No problem. Herb, you'll never guess
You're
who's
the
here.
last genuine American hero, Ed. Can you imagine that? You can't imagine it. Hell, I can't imagine it. When I think of all the time and money we spent trying to make this man popular, I want to cry. All we had to do was shoot him.
Well, he's sure big on the internet. He has his own website, www.deaded.com.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding, and he's already had 10,000 hits.
10,000 hits? Well, thank you, Ed. Thank you.
What are you thanking him for, Herb?
I'm thanking him for standing up to crime. Thanking him for defending his home against unknown intruders, but most of all, Wally, I'm thanking him for being in the box. Ed didn't have a prayer of winning. Am I right? Huh? But now, thanks to his sacrifice, I have a unique opportunity to replace a loser. No offense, noble warrior. With a winner. And Wally, that's why it's very important that Ed stay in the box.
He's dead, Herb.
He's Ed, Wally.
True. Did you find a bugler?
No, I am afraid not.
You want a bugler?
No, I don't want a bugler. The jackass in that box wants a bugler, and I just wasted 2 hours trying to find one.
Madam, do not call the man in that box a jackass. He is a brave hero who gave his life in defense of the free enterprise system, the American way of life, family values, and all of our hopes and dreams for a better tomorrow.
Sir, the jackass in that box is my double-digit IQ ex-husband who 4 years ago this Sunday shot me in the butt with a .22 caliber pistol.
Edna? My God, Wally, it's Edna!
I've been trying to tell you!
Say something, Edna. Say anything.
It's true, I haven't stuttered since the divorce.
And she's lost 100 pounds, Herb, minimum.
Hell yes, Edna, I've got to get your diet.
You want my diet, Herb? You want it? Get out of politics and get a divorce. Guaranteed to lose you 75 pounds.
Am I, whoa, Wally, sit over there. Am I lucky, Wally? I ask you, am I lucky? Oh, 3 days ago I was faced with the hopeless impossible task of getting this guy reelected to the Senate. All you had to do was take one look at the polls and you could see it was a total waste of time. I said to myself, Herb, it will take a miracle to win this race.
Absolutely.
And then I get not one miracle, but two miracles. Miracle number one, Ed gets shot. Pow! Bang! Ah, what more can a man ask? And now this. Oh, miracle number two. Edna shows up looking like $1 million and able to say hello in under 10 minutes. Am I lucky? Just when things look hopeless, something like this happens. By God, Wally, it gives you faith in the system.
What are you talking about, Herb? What is he talking about?
I'm not a religious man, but would you kneel, Wally?
Sure, Herb.
Lord, Wally is kneeling here on my behalf because my back is out, but Lord, I owe you big time. Repeat after me, Wally. Thank you, Lord, for sending me Edna.
Thank you, Lord, for sending me Edna.
Not you, Wally, me! Ah, never mind, amen.
Amen.
Oh, that was beautiful, Herb, but what exactly did that mean? What's he talking about?
I'm talking about your taking Ed's seat in the Senate.
Oh, yeah. What? What did you just say? Have you lost your frigging mind? You can't be serious. It's me, Edna with a bullet in her butt. Remember this bullet, Herb?
Of course I remember that bullet. Everybody remembers that bullet.
Herb's right, Edna. Everybody does remember that bullet, especially women.
Well, I sure as hell do. It's my reminder to stay the hell out of politics.
Oh, don't you get it, Edna? That bullet is your ticket to winning the election. You're a victim. Everybody loves a victim. Even I love a victim. Victims are bigger than heroes in this country.
You know, I'd almost forgotten how wacko you guys are. It's all coming back to me now.
Wally, God, stand over here. Before I forget it, Wally, I want you to have duplicates of that bullet made up. We'll put them on keychains.
Oh, good idea, Herb.
Do you know why Ed was getting killed in the polls? Do you have any idea why he was losing the election?
Maybe because people were finally on to him?
Hell no! It's because he shot you, Edna. Come on, you didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that, but what I do know is the last time I saw you, you were calling me an SOB for leaving him.
Ah, that's the beauty of politics. Yesterday's SOB is today's VIP. Ed here's a perfect example. Yesterday he was 30 points down in the polls, and look at him today.
Dead.
Oh, not just dead, romantically dead, heroically dead. Okay, tragically dead, but most importantly, permanently dead. A man is already the stuff of legend. It's not getting killed that's important, it's how you get killed and where you get killed and when you get killed that counts. Do you realize that if Ed had been shot 3 days after the election, he would have gone out a loser and nobody would have given a damn? No, timing is everything. Losing the election was going to kill Ed anyway, so it's not like he's out anything personally. But this way he gets to go out a hero with eulogies and tributes and condolences. Plus everybody is paying homage, and there is real money in homage if you do it right. You still an orphan, Edna?
Some things don't change, Herb. Once an orphan, always an orphan.
Not anymore. Ed introduced some legislation that'll change all that.
Oh, you mean I'll get my parents back?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tied up in committee. When you get elected, you can do whatever you want with it. Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to run down to the Capitol after the funeral. We're going to get you sworn in. That way, you'll run as the incumbent. You win the election, you serve a couple of months, we find some new guy to replace you, and then you resign, and the new guy has 4 years to build a reputation. Is that so hard?
You might find this hard to believe, Herb, but I actually have a life of my own. Not only that, I've already served in the state senate. Oh, Ed might have had the title and got the paycheck, but I did the work, and I hated every minute of it. I walked out on politics as much as I walked out on Ed. I've never looked back, and I've never regretted a moment of it.
You're not kidding me, Edna. You wouldn't be here today if politics wasn't in your blood.
You know how I'm here, Herb. You really want to know? I'm here because at the bottom of our divorce decree, it says, bury Ed. He was scared to death of dying, and he wanted to be where the Lord could find him.
And I'm sure you'll do a fine job. Now, picture this. What is your problem? Stand over here. Just stand over here. Don't move. Stand right there. God, incompetence. The governor is going to stand right there and introduce you.
I didn't know your dad was coming, Wally.
Oh, hell yes, he's going to come. Because you know why? He's going to use this as an opportunity to make a major address on crime.
People think Dad's soft on crime.
He is soft on crime, Wally.
No, he's soft on criminals. He is not soft on crime. Now, he'll be standing right there, and women all over this state are going to rise up in righteous wrath to support you.
Mom sure will. Rise up in righteous wrath. She really likes you. She says women are tired of getting shot at, and you're their hero.
How is Alice, Wally? You know, she's one of the few people that I really miss.
Oh, she's fine. She wants you to call her. She wants to talk to you about taking Ed's Senate seat.
Her too? I didn't even know who Ed was running against.
Some guy named George Washington. There's real name recognition. Ed always said in politics, the name of the game is name.
And you have the name, Edna. Now, in the meantime, let's give Ed a nice send-out, huh? I've got some flags coming in, an American flag and a state flag. Let's put one at each end of the casket, all right? There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. Do it the right way.
Sure, Herb.
And I want a spot up there to light the casket.
A spotlight?
Yeah, and we'll put the medal in a stand right over there.
Medal?
Yeah, they're giving Ed a medal.
They are? Why?
Why? Why? Don't you read the papers, Wally? For standing up to crime, my God, the man has set an example for all of us to follow. He didn't just roll over and play dead.
No, he rolled over and was dead. Now, Herb, do you have any more surprises for me other than the governor coming and this medal business? Because I'm supposed to be making the funeral arrangements, and I'm just not quite sure what's going on.
What were Ed's last wishes, Edna?
Well, he said something about an eternal flame at the gravesite.
Now that is a wish to end all wishes. How long do you suppose an eternal flame would last, Wally?
I don't know. Maybe a couple of years.
Fine, I can live with that. I won't pay for it, but I can live with it. Anything else?
Yeah, he wanted a building named after him. Do you have any buildings laying around somewhere? Doesn't have to be a new one.
He always did think big, didn't he, Edna? You've got some pretty big shoes to fill.
I wear heels, Herb, remember?
Ah, sure, I remember. And I gotta tell you, down the road, you've gotta be thinking about Governor.
Hello?
You wanna see Ed?
I thought he was dead.
Well, he is dead.
What's to see?
He means pay your respects.
I suppose I could do that, but what I really need is a drink.
Lady, this is a funeral home. You can't get a drink here.
Never been in funeral home. I've never known anyone who died.
You haven't?
I'm from Orlando. I mean, wouldn't you think you could get a drink at a funeral home of all the places where you really need one? Hi, Edna. How are you?
Hi, Buttons. Nice of you to come.
You know her?
We met yesterday. Wally and Herb, this is Buttons. Buttons, this is Herb. And that is Wally.
Oh, yeah? Ed used to talk about you guys. He didn't like one of you, but I can't remember which one. Hi, Ed.
Hi, Ed.
Do you believe in out-of-body experiences?
Out-of-body experiences?
Well, haven't you read those stories about people who died and then came back to life? They all kind of said they left their body and floated up to the ceiling looking down.
You were a friend of Ed's?
I guess so. I was his fiance.
You were going to marry Ed?
I think so. It was all kind of vague.
I don't think he ever mentioned your name. Did you ever hear her name, Wally?
Never, Herb.
That's because we were having an affair.
Jesus, you're married?
Divorced.
Well, so was Ed. Edna's his ex-wife.
I know.
So if he's divorced and you're divorced, how could you be having an affair?
We weren't really having an affair. We just called it that. Ed was an incurable romantic.
Oh, I knew he was incurable. I just never quite knew what he
This whole thing must have come as quite a shock to you.
What whole thing?
Well, Ed's dead.
Oh, that.
Buttons was with Ed when he died.
What? You were? My God, how awful.
It was noisy. Really, really noisy.
He died in your arms?
Not actually. And his recliner tilted way back. It was his favorite chair, at least until recently.
Well, Buttons, please accept our condolences.
Consider your condolences accepted. I don't hold grudges. Life's too short, as Ed used to say, before he died.
I think you're a very brave woman to even be here, considering what you've been through.
Actually, I'm really not that busy. What have I been through?
Ed's death, for one thing.
Oh, that. I said, Ed, if you keep firing that gun in this house, you're going to kill somebody. Oh, little did I know.
The unknown assailants? How many of them were there?
None, as usual.
None.
None as usual? You mean you've been attacked before?
Oh, sure, lots of times. They usually come out on Saturday night. They always seem to come out on Saturday nights.
The assailants?
If you call squirrels assailants.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you talking about big purple squirrels?
Oh my God, have you seen them too?
No, I've never seen one, but Ed used to talk about them all the time.
Tell me about it. Do you remember Mel?
They had names?
Oh, sure. There was Mel, there was Al, there was Stanley. Ed was shooting at Mel when he hit me.
I don't believe this.
I don't believe you didn't know about this. I thought everybody knew. When Ed drank purple squirrels, he saw purple squirrels. He hallucinated.
Are you saying there weren't any real assailants?
No, I made that up. I wasn't about to tell the police what really happened. I mean, would you tell them that your boyfriend got drunk drinking purple squirrels and ended up
Shooting himself? Oh my God, Herb, he shot himself.
I mean, who else had a gun? Ed was firing at Mel or Stanley or Al or one of those guys, and all of a sudden the bullet ricocheted off of the oven. Pow! And then the toaster. Pow! And then the blender. Crash! And then the refrigerator. And possibly the oven again. And then Ed's head.
I do not believe this, but I should have known. The man shot himself.
And we're giving him a medal for doing it.
I tell one little white lie, and the next thing you know, I've created a national hero.
Oh, there are no lies in American politics, Buttons. A lie is simply the truth seen from a different angle.
That is good news, because I wouldn't even consider mine a white lie. I'd actually call it more of a bib.
Oh, I haven't heard that word in years.
A bib is an inconsequential lie. I looked it up.
She looked it up, oh Buttons. With that simple yet eloquent statement, you have added to the lexicon of American politics the inconsequential lie.
Poor Ed.
Poor Ed, you should have seen that kitchen.
I mean, this is going to be really embarrassing, isn't it? I mean, telling the press and everything?
Whoa, Wally, whoa. Have you learned nothing after all these years? We're not going to tell the truth.
Or not?
Of course not. What good would that do?
Well,
Come here. Would it help poor Ed? I don't think so. Wouldn't you rather he went out a national hero than a drunk who shot himself? Yeah, of course you would, huh? Would it help a grateful nation fed up with crime? I don't think so. Would it say help our chances of electing a successor? No, Wally, this truth does not pass any of the tests necessary to telling it. However, thanks to Button's unique view of the fib and the white lie, everything is going to be all right in the end.
well, maybe, but I don't know if Dad's going to want to give Ed a medal.
They're giving Ed a medal for damn near killing little Ray.
For damn near killing little who?
Button's little boy was with her.
What? Nobody told me that.
I didn't know.
What the hell is this?
Little Roy's butt. Ed hit him with a bullet. Actually, he hit the scout knife. The only thing that works now is the can opener.
What did you say his name was?
I call him Roy, sometimes Ray. His father and I had a hell of a row over naming him. He calls him Ray, sometimes Roy.
My little, what's his name got a nasty bruise, didn't he? But I think he's going to be just fine.
You're a doctor?
No, it's just part of the anatomy he's done a lot of work with.
Does anyone else know about this?
No, Buttons decided it was best if we kept his name out of the papers.
That's a very good idea, Buttons.
Do you think so? Because I want to do the right thing.
That's why we're all here, Buttons, to do the right thing.
And if we can't do the right thing, we'll do the next best thing. Right, Herb?
Absolutely. Nobody understands the system like you do, Edna. Why, in the political arena, there are many truths. Choosing the right one is the job of the politician. It is an awesome responsibility.
I'll bet. Anyway, Ed fired the gun a couple more times and there were bullets flying all over the place. And all of a sudden he yelled, "Ouch!"
Ouch! His last word was ouch.
No, he said, "Buttons, if I don't get out of this alive, I want you to have my Senate seat."
He said what?
"Buttons, I want you to have my Senate seat." And then he just kind of slumped over.
You hear that, Herb? A deathbed wish.
So do you know where it is?
Where what is?
His Senate seat.
Where it is?
I mean, if you wanted me to have it, I'd kind of like to have it.
Oh, honey, I don't think you understand.
You're absolutely right, Buttons. Wally, the next time you're down at the Capitol, I want you to find Ed's Senate seat. I think it's in a back office somewhere. You know, if you wanted Buttons to have it, she should have it, huh?
You're
Yeah.
kidding you, Buttons. That's not the seat Ed wanted you to have. He wanted you to serve Ed his place in the Senate. He wanted you to have his seat in the Senate.
Oh, really? You know, I think I'd like that.
Yeah, I'm sure you do a fine job. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. Ed just can't give you his Senate seat.
You have to be elected. The people choose their senator.
Why couldn't I be elected?
Well, to begin with, you have to be qualified.
Was Ed qualified?
Of course!
Then I'm qualified. I'm as qualified as Ed was, aren't I, Edna?
You're more qualified, dear.
And she's a woman, Herb.
Oh, nice of you to notice.
And you have a fascinating name.
You like it? It's my stage name. I used to be in show business.
Really? I'm not surprised.
I was a dancer, sort of. Semi-exotic is as far as I got.
Semi-exotic?
Well, you take the top off, but not the bottom. That's how I got my nickname.
You mean you? Oh, I never met anyone who... I mean, this is the first time
Molly's father is the governor.
Oh, wow. So who was Ed running against? I mean, if I was running, who would I be running against?
Some guy named George Washington.
Oh, really? I know George.
You do?
He dated a dancer down at the club. We doubled some.
A dancer? I don't believe this!
Her name was Zelda. She came out in this huge boa.
A scarf?
Snake. She was cool and exotic, if you get my drift.
Buttons, I would really like to meet Zelda.
I'll bet most guys would.
Oh, no. I just want to talk with her.
Oh, sure, right now you just want to talk to
In
her.
his case, he just wants to talk with her.
She may be able to help with our candidates.
She can help anybody's candidate.
With his election.
Oh, for sure she can help him with that.
No, what I meant. Never mind.
Is there anything I can do for you, Edna?
Not unless you play the bugle.
Edna's looking for someone to play taps at the funeral.
Oh, yeah? Little Ray plays the saxophone. Would that help?
Oh, I'll keep that in mind, dear.
Look, Buttons, we'd really like to help little what's-his-name for his getting shot and everything.
Aren't you nice? Maybe a new scout knife. And since you mentioned it, maybe a modest contribution to the scout troop?
Scout troop?
I'm a din mother.
You are!
I am! It was my parole officer's idea. I now have scouts from 7 different states for a total of 131. Plus a waiting list.
You don't!
I do! Listen, I really need a drink.
So do I. Have you ever had a purple squirrel?
I used to work at a place called the Purple Something until it burned down. Some guy was smoking in bed.
Yeah? Well, why don't you and I go to the bar across the street and try to
You
unwind?
won't have to try with me. You'll unwind.
Oh, terrific! Whoa. Okay. You want to join us, Molly?
Oh, Wally, I'd really like that.
You would?
Yeah, and Wally,
Uh-huh.
maybe we could go to Ed's funeral together. And maybe we could get a bite to eat afterwards. I know a really nice steakhouse.
Oh, I'd really like that.
I don't think Ed would mind if I dated. I mean, he didn't when he was alive. Would you, Ed?
What did he say?
He didn't say no.
Oh, hi. Are you in mourning? I mean, if you are, I can come back.
Oh, no, dear, come in.
Are you sure? Well, isn't that a pretty outfit? Hi, I'm Margot from the Parlor C, and I really think there's been some kind of foul up.
There has? What kind of foul?
Where are all the people?
Well, I was wondering the same thing.
Well, my parlor has been a zoo. You would not believe the people trooping through there. I said, Marty, who the hell are all these people? I don't know any of them. He didn't know them either. Blacks, Catholics, Jews. Wearing their native costumes. The place looked like the United Nations. And my obituary specifically said, no visitors, no visiting hours, family only. And then this mob shows up. On top of which, about an hour ago, they brought in these flags and spotlights and some kind of a little stand. And I said, Marty, this is the last straw. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. And those flags and the stand and the spotlight, they all belong in here.
Well, I am certainly glad to hear that because I certainly did not order them.
Well, I will have the funeral home make that switch. Thank you very much. Don't worry about it
I knew
anymore.
there was a perfectly reasonable explanation.
Yes.
Marty, come in here. Don't worry. He is isn't coming. At least I hope he's not coming. He's in the box. I keep forgetting he's dead. I'm gonna have to take a pill in a few minutes to calm me down. I told my doctor, just give me something to get me through this, and I will be happy to go to bed with you.
Your doctor asked you to go to bed with him.
Well, he said I ought to be in bed, and I just assumed. Anyway, he gave me these pills, and he told me not to drink while I was taking them, but I was drunk when he told me that. Well, what are you on?
Me? Nothing.
Oh, you must have loved him very much.
Well, actually, I'm the senator's ex-wife.
Senator? There's a senator in there? A real-life senator?
Well, not a live one, but yes, a senator.
Well, I have never seen a senator, dead or alive. I do know how exciting this is for a nothing housewife, taxpayer voter, to actually see a senator. I mean, you'll read about these guys, but you never think you'll actually ever get to see one.
I'm sorry, he asked for a closed casket.
Well, Marty didn't ask for one, but he sure as hell got one. I told him to nail the damn thing shut. He told me he was having a vasectomy.
He had a vasectomy.
You don't know the half of it. Why is the wife always the last to know?
Now what, Margot?
That I cannot tell you. I can tell you that I gave up cigarettes for that man, and then he goes and does that.
Does what, dear?
I can't talk about it. Suffice it to say, I have been through a traumatic experience of what Marty used to call epic proportions.
How did Marty die, Margot?
I will never tell, ever. Thank God we don't have children. Did I tell you I did have a false pregnancy? I didn't even know what a false pregnancy was until 2 weeks after the wedding, and by that time we were living in Paris, Kentucky, not France, where my father's from. You know, I understand now about the flags and the spotlights. What does that little stand for?
Well, they're giving him a medal. It's going to go on the stand.
A medal? Wait a minute! Is this the guy who died defending his home? Is this the brave man who was gunned down in the prime of his life?
This is the guy.
And all those people who came to see Marty, they were in the wrong room, weren't they? I wondered about that.
And I wondered where everyone was.
And you must be Edna. I have heard your name.
Yes, I'm Edna. Where would you hear my name?
Well, the guy on the morning news said you're the leading candidate to replace your late ex-husband. All the women's groups are endorsing you.
They are?
Yes, and I will too. Vote for you, I mean. Which means, of course, you will win.
It does.
I have never voted for a loser in my life. Can you believe that?
Never, not one.
Never. I'm the reason we're in the mess we're in. I'm getting depressed again. Could I have a glass of water?
Well, I don't have one handy, dear, but I think you're holding up very well.
Really? It must be the pills. Maybe I will sleep with the guy. Hey, instead of moving all the flags and spotlights and everything in here, why don't we just switch the caskets? Wouldn't that be easier?
Oh, I don't think so, but thank you anyway.
Or I could switch the parlor signs. We could make this one C and Marty B. Would that work?
I'll have the funeral director make the switch. Don't worry about it.
Or maybe, or is this one D? I could have him switch it.
Hey, Ed. Good morning. It's me, Harry. You're never going to believe who called me not just 10 minutes ago. The president. He wanted me to congratulate you on your death. Said he couldn't be happier for you. You're one lucky stiff, you know that? You need anything? Does he need anything?
Not unless you play the bugle.
Damn, I don't play a lick. But let me think about it. Hi, I'm Ed's brother, Harry.
It's been a long time, Harry.
My God, Edna! You're the last person I expected to see here. Tell me, how's your,
Oh, it's fine.
Hang on a second. Mom wanted me to sign her in. Hey, Ed. Mom's told me to tell you that she's proud of you for getting shot and everything, so she's not going to make it to your funeral because she's playing in a bridge tournament in San Diego. But she said that she'll get back to you later, and she'll catch up with you sometime.
How is your mom, Harry?
She's fine. Me, I've made millions, and she still thinks I'm a bum.
She wasn't that crazy about me either.
Hell, I think she backed over Dad on purpose. Maybe not the first time, but the second time for sure.
She told me she honked.
Yeah, right. Listen, Edna, I've been talking to the president, and before I forget, I wanted to tell you, he's planning on coming to the funeral.
Really? Are you sure it was the president? Because if it was, this place would be full of Secret Service and bomb-sniffing dogs.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. Tell me, those dogs that sniff for bombs, do they sniff for drugs, too?
I have no idea, Harry. Why?
No reason. Not at all. Why should I care? Listen, I think I know who could play the bugle. Mel. Now, there was Stanley on piano, Al on bass, and Mel on trumpet. Well, you remember Mel, don't you?
Oh, I remember Mel.
I was shooting at Mel when I hit Stanley.
You didn't shoot Stanley, believe me, Harry.
Oh, I think I did. I mean, up there at the lodge, there was a piano playing, and I fired both barrels of Dad's shotgun. Ed said, "You hit the piano player, Harry. You hit Stanley." There was purple stuff all over the carpet.
What you shot, Harry, was your mother's stereo system and a few bottles of Chianti. She never did get the stain out of the carpet.
Damn, I forget. You were there, weren't you?
Yes, it was my first Thanksgiving I spent with you guys. So how have you been?
Rich, Edna, and very successful.
I know. I read your book.
You did? Well, thank you for buying it. You did buy it, didn't you?
Of course I bought it. I thought it was fascinating.
You'd be surprised how many people use the library. My God, if you want a book, you buy it, you don't borrow it.
Harry, have you given any thought about speaking at the service?
About my book?
No, about your brother.
Oh, yeah. I suppose I could, couldn't I? I mean, how often do you get to say something nice about your brother? What can I say?
He could have been a great one.
He could have been, but he wasn't, of course.
Oh, true.
And you know, I kind of like it, though. It kind of sums Ed up. If he'd just done a little more.
Or a little less.
He did so much and has so little to show for it.
But that's the sign of a great politician. The sum of the parts is always less than the whole.
I'll remember that, Edna. Are you sure there's nothing I can do for him besides finding a bugler?
He did say something about an eternal flame.
Oh, yeah, it does sound like Ed now, doesn't it?
Harry!
Herb!
Hey, how the hell are ya?
Wealthy Herb and modestly famous. Are those fair words, Edna?
Modestly famous. Suits you perfectly, Harry.
I've made millions and I'm still the same man I always was.
Don't think the party doesn't appreciate all your help, huh? Harry gave $100,000 to the campaign.
Well, good government is not cheap.
Actually, you can get bad government for about the same price.
So, Herb, what do you think about my brother here? I mean, getting a medal and everything? You know, I've got some pretty big shoes to fill, don't I?
Beg your pardon?
Well, he wanted me to take his place. Not in the box, in the Senate.
He did.
I think he had a premonition. You know, we were talking a couple of months ago, and he said, "Harry, I'm changing my will. If anything happens to me, I'm leaving my Senate seat to you." He told me sometimes you have trouble finding good people to run.
Yeah. Sometimes we have trouble getting good people to stop running.
Want a suggestion, Herb? Just off the top of my head. Don't replace him.
Don't replace him?
Don't replace any of them. As they die, we just phase them right out. It may take a while, but once they're all gone, we'll just take another look at that whole process.
That may be the smartest idea you've ever had, Harry.
The problem is the law says we have to replace them.
Oh, is that so? Well, you know, Ed really loved that sentence. Harry, he used to say, public service is too sacred a trust to be left to the people. I want you to carry on my word for me. I'm wealthy, so money's no problem.
You'd use your own money?
Happy to. You know the nice thing about having a lot of money, Herb? You can talk about things you know nothing about, and everyone has to listen.
Oh, you love the Senate, Harry.
Tell me, Herb, about how much would it cost to run a Senate campaign?
What, in Ed's district? Oh, I would think about $500,000 would do it.
Really? That seems very reasonable. Tell me, how much does the job pay?
Around $50,000.
You want me to spend $500,000 to get a $50,000 a year job? Am I missing something?
Power, Harry. Raw power. The power to control your state's destiny, to improve the lives of its citizens, to fight crime, stamp out disease, build roads, stand up for the oppressed, help the downtrodden.
And you know the nicest thing about it, Harry? You'd be helping the downtrodden with the downtrodden's own money.
Damn, that does sound exciting now, doesn't it? And to tell you the truth, I'd love to go to Washington.
Washington?
That's the capital, isn't it?
That's the nation's capital. Ed served in the state senate.
Are you telling me this state has a Senate of its own?
Of course it does, Harry. All the states do.
You didn't know that?
Of course I didn't know that, and I'll bet nobody else did either. I mean, if they did, there'd be insurrection, there'd be open rebellion, there'd be rioting in the streets. Talk about duplication. How are things in the capital, I would ask Ed. Just fine, he'd say. Well, I'm going to write an expose. Hidden government. No, phantom government. Does your state have a Senate of its own? If it does, have you ever asked yourself, why? I've got a meeting in 15 minutes. I'll see you all later.
What is all that? Whistles? A guy dressed like George Washington was handing them out. He said that we should blow the whistle on bad government. So I got some for all of us.
Well, I think it's a very clever idea, Herb. Why don't you try something like this?
I can't. I am bad government.
Hiya, Ed. I got a whistle for you to San Diego.
San Diego?
Well, since Ed isn't in the box, I'll bet he's in San Diego.
Are you telling us Ed isn't in that box?
Oh, she's kidding. You're kidding,
I
right?
don't know who that is, but they do look strangely familiar.
Oh, no.
Every newspaper and television network in this country is covering this funeral, and we've got a strange woman in the casket.
There's a woman in there?
Yeah.
Are you sure she's alone?
She's alone? Take a look.
Oh my God, you're right!
This is all Wally's fault. Keep an eye on Ed, I told him. Don't let him out, I said.
Do not believe it. I do not believe this. All I had to do was bury him and he got away.
I know. Isn't that typical of him? Still, he always did want to live in a warmer climate. So if you really need him, you might want to call his mom in San Diego.
If we really need him, this is his funeral.
Well, I know, but does he have to be here? I mean, it wasn't like he was going to speak or anything, was he?
Wait a minute. Your logic borders on genius.
It has been my observation that things go much better when Ed isn't around. If I were you two, I would go without him.
Herb, why not? Why not? We have a body in here. Okay, it's the wrong body. But if we keep the lid down, we can have the ceremony and go home.
Okay, it works for me.
That's what I'd do. Listen, I'm on my way to meet Zelda.
Zelda?
Yeah, she's giving me a picture of George Washington with a stripper.
She is? We win, Edna, we win! Mwah! Oh, Buttons, I owe you big time.
Our feelings exactly. Listen, if you see Wally, would you tell him that I'm looking for him? Ed, this is exactly why I never voted for you.
Do you know what's going to happen? Ed is going to run for office in San Diego and win.
Oh, Herb, relax. He's not in San Diego.
What, you don't think so?
Of course not. He's just misplaced, but he's around here somewhere.
Hey, yeah, if
We'll
we have the
find
nice lady, somebody must have Ed, right?
Yes.
I'll check the other parlors.
And I'll talk with the funeral director.
Sure, we'll find him. I mean, he couldn't have gotten far, huh? Yeah. Besides, who would want to steal a dead state senator? Or a live one, for that matter. I tell you one thing, though. If we do get a ransom note, the party is not paying one dime to get him back. Not one thin dime. It's hard enough raising money for live candidates. Let's go.
All right.
You check that way, I'll go this way. All right.
Is anybody here? Nobody. I'll get it. Hello? 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 Who? You're kidding. Who is this really? The United States? Florida? Vermont? Peru? No, not Peru. Do you know why I said Peru? Because I am taking these pills. Did I tell you about Marty? Well, I could send you some pills. You wouldn't even know you're running the country. Margot, a nothing housewife, taxpayer, voter from Parlor C. Hey, if you're really the President of the United States, what's the capital of South Dakota? Wrong. Everybody says that. You're coming to Ed's funeral? You are coming to Ed's funeral? Ed will be thrilled. I'll tell him. He's right here. Sure. Listen, could you call back? Because I'm really busy right now. Thank you, dear. Bye-bye. Hi, famous author.
Hi.
Oh, you don't remember me. You were signing books down at the mall.
Good luck, Marty.
Oh my God, you do remember.
Of course I remember. I always remember a beautiful woman.
Oh, you are calling me a beautiful woman. Oh, I think I have died and gone to heaven. Oh, no offense, Ed. Well, I mean, I think Ed's probably going to heaven, don't you? I mean, he might already be there. I suppose it depends on what time he left, doesn't it?
Damn, I like you,
Oh, the thing is, I'm not Marty. Marty was my husband. He had the operation. He loved your book, Words to Live By. He said those were his exact words.
Well, I'm very flattered. Tell me, how is he?
He's dead. I'm Margot from Parlor C. Do you know who I was talking to on the telephone when you came in? The President of the United States. At least he said he was the president. Isn't Sacramento the capital of South Dakota? Anyway, I told him to call back.
You know, Margot, meeting you has made this funeral all worthwhile.
Well, what a lovely thing to say. Did I just take a pill? Were you watching? I'm supposed to take 2 of the orange and 1 of the blue ones. Only these are white. I think I'll take 4 of the white. What I need is a glass of water.
Hey, I know where you can get one. I'm supposed to meet a fellow over at an AA meeting. Would you like to go along?
Oh, I would love to ago, although I am no longer a member.
You belong to AA?
Oh, I belonged for years, mostly for the maps.
Damn, Margot, you are something else. I'll get it. Hello. Yeah, Al. Ed? Yeah, he's right here. No, he's not doing a thing. You're not serious. No, he'd love to. You want me to have him dropped off? I'll be happy to, no problem. You at the hotel? He'll be there. Hey, Ed. That was Al. He's having a fundraiser over at the hotel, and he would love for you to come.
Oh, you do the neatest things. I have never been to a fundraiser.
Well, he just loves fundraisers, and you know what? Maybe we could stop by there after the AA meeting. Would you like to do that?
Oh, I would love to. Let me get my purse. Oh, Harry, don't you think there ought to be a box in here while Ed's gone? And what if somebody stops by to pay their respects?
You're right. You know, I'll go talk to the funeral director.
The thing is, there is this girl, Doris, over in Parlor E. She's from out of town and she does not know a soul. She has had some awful luck, including her death. It was in all the papers.
Just like Ed.
Possibly I didn't read the whole article. Anyway, I'm sure she would be happy to come over for the afternoon. Would you like me to ask her?
Would you mind?
Oh, sure. It wouldn't be any problem at all. She's on casters. It wouldn't take 5 minutes.
Well, you tell her it's just until Ed gets back.
Oh, and do not let me forget. After the meeting, I have got to stop back here and pick up Marty.
I thought he was dead.
Well, you don't miss a thing, do you? Oh, be careful, famous author. You are dealing with a grieving widow who is on medication and extremely vulnerable. I mean, really vulnerable.
There you go, Doris. We'll see you later.
Oh, what's that, a flask in your pocket? I thought you were just happy to see me.
You better get that AA meeting.
I cannot believe that nobody has seen Ed and nobody is missing a body.
The funeral director told me the same thing. This is crazy. Somebody has to be looking for the nice lady.
You don't suppose she might have some ID on her, do you?
No, but it wouldn't hurt to look.
All right. What parlor are we in?
Parlor B, what's the matter?
There's a different body in the box.
Come on, Herb.
I'm telling you, this is not the same woman in the casket when we left.
Of course it is.
No, it's not.
Are you sure? Oh my God, you're right. And we were gone an hour.
You get it. I don't want to know. You get it.
Hello, Harry? No, he's not here. May I take a message? It's Edna. I'm here to bury Caesar. What is it, Al? Harry did what? Harry sent you the wrong body. What do you mean? No, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. And if I were you, I'd keep the lid down.
What the hell was that all about?
Harry sent the nice lady down to the hotel.
Harry did what? Why?
You're asking me. Oh, Harry, Al just called. He said you sent him the wrong body.
You didn't want Ed?
Ed, yes, but Ed wasn't in the box you sent.
He wasn't? Where is he?
We don't know. We've been looking all over for him.
Did you try the bar across the street?
No, Harry, that would have never occurred to me.
That's the first place I'd look.
Well, wherever he isn't in the box you sent Al, and Al wants you to call him. And by the way, do you happen to know who's in here?
Oh, sure, that's Doris.
Doris?
From Parlor E.
And what is she doing in here?
She's dead.
No, Harry, why is she in here?
Oh, she's taking Ed's place in case he doesn't make it back for visiting hours. It was Margot's idea.
Did Doris's family say it was all right for her to come over?
Not really. There was no one there when we picked her up.
You mean you stole her? My God, that's body snatching!
Gotta go back, Herb. Check Parlor E, see if this is a convenient time to return Doris.
Harry, you do know that body snatching is against the law, don't you? Leave this.
Harry, in the future, if there is a future, I would appreciate it if you would check with me first before you loan your brother out.
Parlor E is crawling with police.
Great. Now I suppose we have to wait till we return Doris. And by the way, just out of curiosity, what did Al want with Ed in the first place?
He's having a fundraiser for him.
What? He's having a fundraiser for a dead candidate?
Yeah, well, Al already had it scheduled, and you thought, what the hell? I mean, he had the hall rented, he had the tickets printed, and so Ed's dead. I mean, he thought he could make a few bucks and break even.
The line is around the block.
What line is around what block?
People trying to get into Ed's fundraiser down at the hotel.
You can't be serious.
They even got a cop directing traffic in the parking lot. And worse than that, the bar is full. That's where Al is. He can't believe it. He is just sitting there with this glazed look on his face.
Oh, Al can't believe it. Isn't he the guy who thinks the earth is flat?
Yeah. But even if he's wrong about that, and I'm not sure he is, it is nothing compared to this!
Just out of curiosity, I'm almost afraid to ask. How much are the tickets?
$250, which includes the buffet, which is why I went, and of course they ran out of food.
That's very reasonable.
What? Reasonable? $250 for a dead candidate, Herb? Are you crazy?
Maybe I am, but if I know the average voter, half of them won't even know that Ed is dead, and the other half won't even care!
You do not mean that, because if you are right, don't replace Ed. Call off this ceremony. Why confuse the public with a live candidate? Just run Ed again. See Ed run. Run, Ed, run.
Did you hear that, Harry?
I heard that, Herb. You're good, Edna. Really good.
What?
It's one thing to raise money for a dead candidate, but to actually run a dead candidate? That takes vision!
No, I was kidding, Herb. Can a girl kid? I mean, the man can't run again. He's dead. He can't run, can he?
Who's to say? I don't believe there's a law specifically prohibiting it.
Not even in the small print.
It never occurred to me to run Ed again, but your idea just might work!
No, don't rope me into this. This was not my idea. I was being sarcastic. Don't you guys know sarcasm when you hear it?
Picture this, Herb. Billboard.
What?
Big red letters. See Ed run, run, Ed run.
Oh, and on television you just see a pair of feet running, right? No face, just feet. And a voice says, run, Ed, run.
And the background keeps changing.
Yeah.
City streets, rolling farmlands, run, Ed, run.
Oh.
The pyramids.
Oh.
Niagara Falls, run, Ed, run. Look at that SOB go.
Politics! Don't you just love this business?
And then we start adding feet. 3 or 4 to begin with, then a dozen, then hundreds and thousands of feet all running to victory with Ed. Run, Ed, run! It's your slogan, Edna. Do you mind if we use it?
It is not my slogan, and I don't give a damn what you do with it. I was being facetious. It never occurred to me that you guys...
See Ed Run? It's so easy to remember. Didn't there used to be a book, though, called See Ed Run?
Oh, that was C Spot Run.
Sure, I read that. The simple things are always the best, aren't they? Come on, Edna, you gotta meet Al. You guys are kindred spirits.
Yeah, and better than that, I bet the buffet's open again. And I think I can get us in for nothing, knowing Al personally as I do. But we better walk. We'll never find a parking spot.
Ho-ho.
Edna.
No,
Yeah?
no.
Visionary.
Herb, no.
Genius.
Get back.
You should be a political consultant. Ah! Doris! Where the hell is Doris? It's Doris!
Oh, she's gone. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you.
I'll bet Harry took her back to Parlor E.
Yes.
Yeah. Ah, I'm gone. Governor, how are you?
Ahead in the polls, Herb. Ahead in the polls. Life is good. I'll bet you're wondering where the box is, aren't you? Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Just wait till I tell you what I did with Ed.
What you did with Ed?
You know that voice? Edna? Is that you?
Yes. Now, exactly what did you do with Ed?
My God, let me look at you. You look wonderful.
Thank you. Now, where's Ed?
You don't stutter anymore. She doesn't stutter.
No, but I'm going to begin if you don't tell me what you did with
It
Ed.
was kind of spur of the moment, like most of my great ideas are. Came to me just like that. Anyway, as we speak, Larry is running Ed down to the state capitol.
Larry took the box that was right here down to the state capitol?
For God's sake, why?
The Lion State in the capital of London. My final tribute to a great man.
Ed? Lying in state?
The man has earned it, Herb. And in today's society, if you're dead, the Capitol Rotunda is the place to be. Standards, talk about visibility, talk about hum.
Hum?
Hum is how they measure popularity today. People talking about you. The undercurrent of conversation. The hum of voices. Your hum factor says a great deal about who you are and what you are. Harry explained the whole thing to me. It's all in his book.
Oh, it is. Well, how did I miss that, Jeff?
Well, I tell you, Harry really understands hum. He's really excited. It's a 7 or an 8 right now, but a couple of hours in the Capitol Rotunda and pow, he'll be a 10 or a 12. So this is a big career move for him.
I cannot believe that Ed is going to lie in state.
He lied every place else.
Well, don't try to thank me. I'm happy to do it. I just wanted to pay tribute to the man for everything he's done to this state since he's been in office. Plus, of course, getting shot, which was a stroke of genius.
It's all very generous gesture, Governor, but
I
we got
booked him
a
into
problem.
the rotunda in between the Senior Citizens Art Fair and an antique show. For 2 hours, all the lucky SOB has to do is just lie there, stare at the ceiling, and accept the congratulations of friends and well-wishers. Larry says there'll be 2,000 to 3,000 people easy.
Here's the problem, Fred.
Picture this, Edna. You're in the center of the rotunda, under the great dome, surrounded by the history of this great state. Candles flickering off the bayonets of the honor guard.
Honor guard?
And there in the center of it all lies Ed. All you can hear is the shuffle of feet as mourners and admirers file past the casket, anxious for one last look at this brave man. Blacks, Hispanics, Catholics, Jews, all dressed in their native costumes. Then, on my cue, the state choir begins to hum the battle hymn of the Republic.
The state has a choir?
Oh, it sounds lovely, Fred, and it might just work if you keep the lid down.
Well, why would I keep the lid down?
Because Ed isn't in the box.
What do you mean Ed isn't in the box? Where the hell is he?
Do you mean where the hell is he, or where do people think he is?
People think he's attending a fundraiser down at the hotel.
But he isn't?
No, he isn't. Mm-mm.
All right, so where is he?
We don't know.
But he's around here someplace.
No, Herb. Jimmy Hoffa is around here somewhere. Are you telling me you've lost Ed?
boss, Governor. Just misplaced.
If Ed isn't in the box, who the hell is?
Doris.
Doris?
From Parlor E.
Doris? That's it? Doris from Parlor E? I lean on people. I throw my weight around. I rearrange schedules. I got an honor guard. I got the state choir. I got a bugler.
You got a bugler? Where did you get a bugler?
Who cares? He's a friend of Harry's. Mel somebody.
Oh.
Honest to God, you try to do something nice for somebody, and what happens? You end up with some broad from Parlor E lying in state. Ed never liked me, Edna. He never voted for my legislation. He never supported my work. And now this.
Yeah. Well, he shot me. And do you know what I'm supposed to be doing today? Getting married.
You're getting married?
If I ever get a moron in the ground, I am. Now listen. In the meantime, get Larry on the phone for me. Governor, we haven't got much time. This is critical. Larry. Hi, this is Edna. Now listen to me. Ed's not in the box. No, he isn't. Well, we don't know where he is. No, I am not kidding. No, Doris is in the box. Doris? Now listen, this is your mission in life. Whatever you do, keep the lid down. Well, I don't care what you tell him he died of the plague, but keep the lid down. And Larry, if anybody tries to open the box, kill them, capiche? Be polite, but kill them. Now, Larry, one more thing. Be careful driving. I don't want you getting pulled over. I think there's an APB for Doris. Yes, thank you. All right, you're a doll.
All right, way to go, Edna. Keep the lid down. That's my administration's motto. It's what we do here. You just saved my butt. What's APB mean?
All points bulletin. The police think someone stole Doris.
Really? Who would steal Doris?
You did, Fred.
I did. Keep the lid down, Larry. Keep the lid down. I didn't steal Doris. I don't even know Doris.
Of course you didn't. Harry did.
Harry stole Doris?
Yes.
What's Harry want with a dead body? Don't tell me.
Fred, this whole thing is a big misunderstanding, all right? Relax. Everything is going to be okay.
Oh, you think so? Sure, relax. Larry will take care of things, won't he? Larry's the best, isn't he? Sure he is. Tell me about this fundraiser down at the hotel. Who's it for? Maybe I ought to stop in and shake some hands?
It's for Ed.
For Ed? Oh my God, he's gonna run again, isn't he? Of course he is. There'll be no stopping it.
It was Edna's idea.
Will you shut up? The man is dead.
You know that, and I know that, but voters are creatures of habit. They see a name they recognize, they vote for it. There's a familiarity of a familiar name. There's a comfort level in that. And never underestimate a great name. I should know I have a great name.
You're right, Fred. You can't beat a great name.
Well, I'm sorry, Herb, but we've got to stop it.
We do. Why?
Maybe because he's dead.
Because I want Wally to have Ed's seat.
Wally? Wally? Actually, Fred, I was hoping that Edna would take Ed's place. You know, she's got a pretty good name, too.
Well, she has a damn good name, but I thought she was getting married. You can't get married, run for office at the same time, can you? I mean, changing your name would confuse the voters. What is your fiancé's name?
Loth Schimmermeister. Yes. Loth Schimmermeister. The second M is silent.
Oh my God, we couldn't even get that on a billboard.
Forget me, Wally's your candidate. No skeletons in his closet, no past record.
Yeah, no record at all. He's never done a damn thing.
Just what you're looking for, Herb, a squeaky clean candidate.
Yeah, just like me. Pure as a driven snow.
Freddie? Is that you? It's me, Buttons!
God, Governor, do you know Buttons?
Does he know me? I saved his life, didn't I, Bunny?
Bunny, pure as the driven snow.
We met on Easter. It's a religious holiday.
My God, it's my old physical therapist. I didn't recognize you out of uniform.
You're a physical therapist.
I suppose it's possible.
It's all right, Buttons. You can tell them my administration has no secrets.
Tell them.
After all these years of secrecy, the truth can finally come out.
It can? Are you talking about...
How my doctor felt that I needed prostate surgery, but you felt that therapy might work. You secretly nursed me back to health when I was sick, but didn't want the public to know because it might hurt the state's bond rating.
Are you talking about that weekend we spent together in Miami?
And how my glands were swollen.
At times.
And how I fought back and finally recovered. My doctor was amazed.
I know, he called me.
I had no idea that you've been sick, Governor.
Well, I'm just glad it's finally out in the open. I do appreciate your coming to see me, Buttons.
Actually, I came to see Ed.
You knew Ed?
He had the same thing you had.
There's been a lot of that going around.
Well, actually, I'm glad that the two of you know each other because the fate of Ed's Senate seat may rest on Buttons' broad shoulders.
I sure hope not. Most of this is padding.
Thanks to Buttons. Thanks to Buttons, we now have a picture of George Washington with a stripper. Ooh, in flagrante delicto. Mwah.
Actually, it's digital.
That is deplorable.
Oh!
I'm almost ashamed to be in politics.
Oh, yes! All right! George Washington is history! He wants to blow the whistle, Edna? We'll blow the whistle.
Oh, Herb, I do not believe this.
Oh, you don't believe what?
Oh, you've sunk to a new low. Not an easy task in this business.
What are you talking about, Edna?
What am I talking about? What am I talking about, Fred? Fred, this is Buttons.
That is true. When Zelda told me she had a picture of George Washington with a stripper, she neglected to tell me that I was the stripper.
Is that a problem?
Of course it's a problem. You don't want to drag her into this, do you?
As a private citizen, she has a civic responsibility.
The real problem is we have both candidates in the same picture.
Both candidates.
Buttons is thinking of running.
You are?
I don't see why not. Ed wanted me to have his Senate seat. It was his deathbed wish. What's the civic responsibility you're talking about?
You have to blow the whistle.
I do? Lucky me, I have a whistle.
You see? How hard was that? If you tell the world that you and George had an affair, our candidate will win.
Yes, but what if I'm our candidate? Then wouldn't I be blowing the whistle on myself?
Well, theoretically you would, but what if you weren't our candidate, huh? What if, oh, say, Edna was our candidate?
Oh, for Edna, I would blow the whistle.
I would never allow you to do that, Buttons.
Why not? What would happen to me if I did blow the whistle?
Well, they drag your name through the mud. They call you all sorts of terrible things. They'd make a mockery of everything you hold near and dear. They'd assassinate your character, destroy your reputation, and leave little Ray and Roy in the road for dead.
Yeah, that's the downside. The upside. The upside is you become famous. You do a TV movie, you write a book, and then you go on all the talk shows you want. Huh?
Enough of this. Buttons is the mother of one, possibly two children, and she is not blowing the whistle for me
what are you
or
doing?
anyone else.
What are you doing? I think you're tearing up my time.
Yeah. Well, if I was going to run, I would run on
Honesty, integrity, maybe even a little morality. When was the last time you heard that word, huh? Morality, huh? Family values, doing the right thing. I want you to join a church, Edna. A big church.
I already belong to a church, Herb.
You do? Oh, talk about luck. That ties right in with the golden rule. What is the golden rule again?
Do unto others.
Oh, yeah, I know that. It's short and it's punchy.
What I was going to say is, if I ever did run, I would run on the issues.
The issues? Do you know what happened the last time we ran on the issues?
I have no idea. But on that happy note, I am going to get a bite to eat. Gonna call Alice. I may even have a drink.
And I may even buy you a treat. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna drop that awful weird last name of yours. We're just gonna run you as Edna. You know? Like Cher or Madonna. Do you hear what I'm saying? Edna. One word.
No.
One word maybe with an exclamation point. or a little kick
Absolutely
in the
not.
end. Why not? It's great. No one will be upset with that name.
How long has it been, Buttons? Seemed like 100 years.
100 years? No, I was having 2 molars capped. That would make it about 18 months. Which you said you'd help pay for. The caps?
Well, I thought you had insurance.
Actually, he waived the deductible. What are you doing here anyway, Bunny?
I'm the governor. I'm here to eulogize Ed and give the man a medal.
You're the governor. I thought you were in real estate.
I was in real estate, and I got elected governor. You didn't know?
If I did, I don't remember. You know how my memory is. What are you staring at, Bunny?
Staring at you, Buttons. There's a reason fate has brought us together again.
Yeah, Ed's dead.
No, it's bigger than that. Don't you feel it? I feel it.
Freddie, I feel nothing. Maybe it's your arthritis.
You must feel something. I mean, how often do you find the love of your life in a funeral home? Why didn't you call me, Buttons?
Because you said you had a little boy that you couldn't leave.
Ah, yes. Little Wally.
Wally? His name is Wally?
What's the matter?
Nothing, Freddie. Nothing at all. So, I bet little Wally's all grown up now, isn't he? How old is he? Maybe 4, maybe 5?
Actually, I think he's 42.
42. They grow up quickly, don't they? So, are you still a widower, Freddie?
Pretty much. Some. Not a lot.
So, little Wally doesn't have a mother?
Oh, actually, Wally's mother is still alive.
Wally's mother is still alive, and you're a widower?
It's very rare.
I'll bet.
You could be a big influence in Wally's life, Buttons.
I was thinking the same thing.
I need you, Buttons. Not for me, that would be selfish, but for little Wally. You could give my little boy the love he needs.
I was thinking the same thing.
He could use a friend if he's appointed to Ed's Senate seat.
Wally may take Ed's seat?
I hope so. He's young, he's vibrant.
Oh my God, is he vibrant? I was hoping he'd be vibrant. But you never know.
He knows the issues.
Issues?
Yeah, taxes, the environment, education, stuff like that.
Education?
Johnny can't read, Buttons.
He can't?
No. We've spent millions and Johnny still can't read.
Maybe Johnny's dumb, Fred. Did you ever?
No, I never thought.
Maybe you should, because at this present time, right now, as we're speaking, I am thinking of all the Johnnies I know. 8, and if you count 1, Jonathan, possibly 9. And they're all dumb. Maybe it's a coincidence.
No, it's no coincidence. My brother's name is Johnny and he's dumb as a post. You're onto something. Johnny's dumb. It sounds so simple. My God, Buttons, do you know what this means? Do you know how much money we can save?
Oh my gosh, I don't want to get my hopes up. Is that Ed?
No, Al sent the nice lady back from the hotel. We haven't heard from Ed.
Damn. Now I'm beginning to get a little worried. What about Doris? Have we heard anything from the Capitol Rotunda?
Last I heard, Larry was sitting on top of the box.
Well, I just had a very nice little talk with Alice. And she...
Everybody out of the pool! I've always wanted to say that. My God, you're the governor. I've seen you on TV. Do you know how exciting it is for a nothing housewife, taxpayer, voter to meet a governor? Hi, I'm Margot from Parlor C.
How do you do, Margot?
Oh, the governor is calling me Margot and asking me how I do. Well, I don't do good, governor.
Please call me Fred.
Freddie and Margot. None of this would have happened if Marty I had Marty cremated in a fit of pique. Oh, I'm not drunk, just heavily medicated to mask my grief. Right, Marty? He could care less. I had my blood pressure taken. 230 over 400. Perfectly normal for a woman of my height. Didn't I tell you that Marty's mother called? What am I supposed to tell her? She wanted to know where her turquoise bracelet was. Well, like I wouldn't know that.
Margot, have you met Herb?
No. Did I tell you? I have been taking the cat's medicine for 2 days. No urinary problems for you, the doctor said.
Are you on something?
Oh, I am on a lot of things, thanks to Marty. I was largely drug-free until this happened. The more I thought about it, the madder I got.
Thought about what, Margot?
I cannot talk about it. But frankly, I thought we had a pretty good marriage for two people who didn't like each other. Has anybody got a cigarette?
Oh, you can't smoke in here, Margot.
I can't smoke in a funeral home? Anyway, I was sitting at breakfast and I heard a voice say, "Cremate him." I said, "You're kidding." And the voice said, "I am not kidding. Have a cigarette and cremate him."
Whose voice was it?
It sounded like our old marriage counselor.
Well, I'm sure you did the right thing, Margot, if that's what Marty wanted.
Oh, who the hell knows what Marty wanted. He wasn't planning to die, and now he's in a coffee can. Makes you think, doesn't it, Edna? One minute you're Queen of the May, and the next minute you're Juan Valdez.
You guys wouldn't believe this, but Margot has never voted for a loser.
Never. Not once. Until after they were elected.
You mean to tell me that whoever you vote for wins? State races? Federal races?
All races, never lost one.
You hear that, Herb?
Well, this has been a big day for me. First I meet a dead senator, and then I meet a live governor. And in between, I talked to the President of the United States on the telephone.
The president called? I don't think so.
I think somebody was probably kidding you, Margot.
Really? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're probably right. But he said he was coming to Ed's funeral. I told him to call back. Edna, may I ask you a personal question?
Of course you may.
Who is going to take Ed's place? Because if you don't have anyone, I would be happy to apply. And of course, we know I will win.
Did you hear that, Herb?
Actually, Margot, I was hoping that Edna would take Ed's place in the Senate.
Oh, sure. Of course. But if you don't want the job, well, is that Doris?
No, Doris is up at the state capitol.
She is. What's she doing there?
Well, she's lying in state in the Capitol Rotunda.
What does that mean, lying in state?
Well, her casket is in the Capitol Rotunda under the Great Dome with carolers and, candles and honor guard and thousands of mourners passing by to say, "Thank you."
Thank you for what? Shooting 2 cops?
What?
She shot 2 cops? Why'd she shoot 2 cops?
In a drug deal gone sour sure. Don't you read the papers, Freddie?
Drug deal? Lying state? I'm finished. The lid's down, isn't it?
The lid's down, Fred. Fred's the man responsible for Doris lying in state.
Oh, are you, Freddie? Well, I think lying in state is a bit much. A pardon probably would have done it.
Pardon?
Oh, think hard. Did she have her red purse with her? This is very important because when you are dealing with drugs, a red purse is a dead giveaway.
That's it? A red purse? I'll call Larry.
Tell him the news says there's $1 million worth of cocaine in the caskets.
$1 million? My time of public service goes up somebody's nose. It isn't even mine.
Don't worry about it, Freddie.
Gotta get Doris out of there before somebody opens a damn pot.
Who's gonna be looking for drugs in a casket lying in state in the Capitol Rotunda? I suppose I would be, but...
If you're gonna talk to Larry, ask him if he's heard anything about the president coming.
The president? The president's coming?
Yeah.
Nobody told me the
Nobody
president
told me
was
either,
coming.
Fred.
Oh.
Hey, what are you all doing in here?
Where else would we be?
Well, down in Parlor C with Ed.
What? That's in Parlor C?
Well, yeah, I switched boxes yesterday. I thought it would be easier to move Ed than to move all those flags and lights.
I thought you didn't want to do that, Edna.
Did it? Oh, Wally, you can't go moving bodies around without telling people. Do you have any idea the mess you've created here? Got Doris lying in state in the Capitol Rotunda, and this poor lady's been down at a hotel all day, and well, I guess we know where Ed is, don't we, Herb?
Yeah, finally. When did you make the switch?
Last night after visiting hours.
Last night? You mean Marty's in there?
Yeah, that's Marty. That's his tag. Ed's in Parlor C.
I don't know Marty, all right, but the person in that box, it's not him.
Oh, Margot, maybe you better look in the box.
You think I should?
Yes.
He wore the purple. I begged him wear the peach. Oh, no. Mr. Color Coordinate had to wear the purple, plus my pearl necklace, which he is not supposed to touch, ever.
I take it Marty's in the box.
Well, hell yes, Marty's in the box, and if Marty's in the box, who the hell's in the can? I cremated a national hero, didn't I? In a bit of pique, I cremated a brave man who died defending his home. Do you know how this makes me feel? Do you know how often I have a fit of pique? Where's the can?
You cremated a national hero. Wait a minute. You mean he's him?
This is not your fault, Margot. I'm sorry as hell about this, Ed. I really am. Now, Herb, I will buy a ticket to his fundraiser. Margot, don't worry about this. This was not your fault.
Not my fault. I am going to need some big-time counseling for this one. I'm going to stay on the cat's medicine. Plus 2 of the orange and 1 of the blue. Is anybody seeing the can?
Margot, I need to ask you for a big favor. Could we borrow Marty just for today?
Oh, sure. I was afraid you were going to ask for my car. Actually, I don't even need to have him back. Did anybody see what I did with the can?
Oh, it's around here someplace. Now listen, guys, listen. Margot's husband's in the box. Let's just go ahead and have the ceremony and pretend that he's Ed.
I'll go down to Parlor C and get the flags and the medal stands. Unless
Like hell, Wally, I'm coming with you. You are so fired.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that Fred is going to eulogize Marty and give him a medal? And there are going to be flags and spotlights and national publicity?
I'm afraid so, Margot.
Stand back. I'm going to have another fit of pique. Marty! You are the luckiest man who ever lived. Who else would die in the middle of a sex change operation and get a medal for it?
right in the middle of a sex change operation.
I did say that, didn't I? Was that Freudian slip? I think it was, wasn't it?
That's a rather rare operation, isn't it?
It was the first in our family.
You left Marty down in the bar next to the macadamia nuts?
Oh,
Mel found him.
you dear, dear man.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not Marty, because Marty's in the box.
He is? Well, where's Ed?
Ed's in the can. Only, I thought the can was red. I was sure it was red.
It was red. Well, what the hell? The can's a can.
Ed's in here? Well, there goes your eternal flame, Ed. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry too, Harry. You've been so good to me. You signed Marty's book and you told me I was beautiful and I cremated your brother.
You did? Oh, I'm sure it was an honest mistake. Do they look alike?
Not really. But Margot's husband is in the box. We're going to pretend that he's Ed. We're going to have the funeral and bury him.
A total stranger in the family plot next to Dad? Oh, what the hell. They can always dig him up later if they don't get along.
Harry, there's a cop outside looking for you.
Did he mention Doris?
No, he mentioned Stanley.
Oh, probably because I told the press I shot Stanley.
You did what?
It's one of the steps in AA. Apologizing for things you did.
Oh, brother. Well, better Stanley than Doris. Come on, Harry. Let's go see if we can sort this out.
So, what's in the can?
Ed.
My fiancé? No wonder we couldn't find him.
Your fiancé? Oh, hi. I'm Margot, formerly of Parlor C. And I feel just terrible about this, but I got your fiancé mixed up with my husband and I had him cremated. Would you like to have him?
I don't think so, thank you. I'm seeing someone.
You are?
I'm very resilient.
I guess you are. I guess I am too. Who do you think would want Ed?
Well, you might ask Edna. If Ed's in the can I ask where your husband is?
Marty is in the box.
Marty? Your husband's name is Marty in that box? So that's who that is. When I looked in there, I said, that is not Ed. But doesn't that... Don't I know that... You fooled me, Marty. He never wore purple, ever. That's why I didn't recognize him. Her. Them.
You knew Marty?
Who didn't know Marty? Woo, 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 woo.
What the hell was that?
That was Marty dancing at the club.
Marty. Woo, woo, woo. At the club?
Exactly. The amateur night on standing ovations, which is not why the girls loved him.
Marty. Standing ovations. Dancing girls.
Well, sometimes sitting ovations, but always ovations.
Sitting ovations too.
However, the girls loved him because of his vast and all-encompassing knowledge of cosmetics, which he shared with the less fortunate. Cosmetics are my life, he used to say.
Cosmetics were his life? I thought he was in real estate.
Marty makeup? He touched the lives of anyone who got in his way. He was so kind and gentle and talented and different. Really different. He wanted so little out of life to dance and cosmetize and of course to have the operation.
You knew about the operation?
Well, the girls all chipped in. It was very expensive, but we knew how much it meant to him.
Well, he had the operation.
He did! So how did it go? Well, don't forget, at least he's getting a medal.
Well, how's Harry? Is he all right?
Oh, he's fine. It was all just a misunderstanding. He's across the street now at the bar with Mel and a reporter.
Well, maybe I should go buy Mel a drink. I missed him at the AA meeting. Would you like to have Ed?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Why don't you see if Fred will take him down to the Capitol Rotunda? And by the way, Margot, in case you didn't know, Mel is a 6-foot purple squirrel.
Yes?
I feel so at home with you people.
I've just been talking to Larry. He sounds rather incoherent, but he says the Secret Service is all over the rotunda. You know what that means.
What does it mean?
It means the president is on his way. Do you think they'll open the box?
It's too late now, Fred.
Oh, would you like to have Ed? Because I didn't really know the man.
I love macadamia.
Somebody stole the medal and the flags out of Parlor C.
The funeral director thinks it's the same gang that stole Doris and Ed.
Hello? Who? Hey, I know that voice anywhere. Did you hear that, Dusty? It's me, Buttons. Where is my $75? It's the president.
What?
Johnny
Dusty?
Oh, it's his nickname. No, I don't want to check. And don't you ever call anybody back? Yeah, Mr. Wonderful. Listen, I'm running for state senate. Like hell I'm not. And I want you to endorse me. Hey, I voted for you. Like hell. And your kid wouldn't have made it into Tenderfoot if it wasn't for me. Who? Yeah, she's here. The president says, yo, Margot.
Yo, Margo, he actually said that. Well, yourself, you big lug. Who is the president?
I hear humming. Where are you at? What? He said he's at Ed's funeral service at the Capitol Rotunda and he wants to know where we all are.
Oh my God.
He says to turn on the TV if we want to watch the ceremony. He's about to pin the medal on Ed. Don't open the box, Dusty! Run for your life!
Tell him not to open the box. Kneel, Wally. Kneel and pray that he doesn't open the box.
Oh, forget it, Wally. They always open the box.
Tell him if he sees a red purse, it's a very bad sign.
Mr. President, this is Fred. I know you're very busy, but I just wanted to tell you, Johnny's down, Fred.
No.
Not your Johnny. I didn't know you had a Johnny. He hung up.
There goes my $75.
How did you know the president?
His kid was in my scout troop when he was county commissioner.
Yeah? So why does he owe you $75?
Well, I spent a lot of personal time and money making a merit badge just for him, which included whips and handcuffs, which are very expensive, by the way, and which I never used again.
Whips and cuffs.
Oh, Fred, don't even go there. Instead, let me tell you about my fundraiser.
You're having a fundraiser? Oh, thank God you're running.
No, not for me. It's for Alice. Alice is thinking of running, and she wants me to chair her campaign. I felt I owed the voters that much.
What are you saying? Alice is running for something?
Yes, for Ed's Senate seat.
My mother?
My wife?
My mother-in-law.
Hey, I thought you'd all be watching TV. The president is giving Doris a medal. Why? I don't know. Then all of a sudden, here come all these drug-sniffing dogs. They're all over the place. There must have been 50 of them. And they arrested Larry, who must have found the coke because he was stoned. The sun went dark, but I could still hear Mel playing taps. It was touching.